Hi, I'm the mean cook, and my name is Kevin, by the way. Welcome to my kitchen once again. Today we're gonna make something very, very Italian, not specifically from the region I come from, which is Rome, which is the capital of Italy. Even though I did not grow up eating that, I fell in love with it when I became an adult, and that's true love, by the way. That's true love, okay? True love. Today we're gonna be making risotto, which in Italian, by the way, is pronounced risotto. See, in Italy we have this thing where we pronounce double letters. We have double letters and we pronounce them risotto. But before we begin, I'm not a professional chef. I'm not a professional cook. I have never worked in a professional kitchen. I have no qualification whatsoever to teach you anything about cooking. The only purpose of this video is entertainment. So please be entertained as I walk you through the process of making risotto. And I'm also gonna be throwing a little bit of science here and there, even though I'm not a scientist either. But I hope I can teach you the fundamentals, and so you can make every kind of risotto you want and enjoy it. Let's begin. And here we are. So this is what we are gonna need. Rice, as you can see, this is a very specific kind of rice. Any kind of rice which is rich in starch will give you a very good result. But this is short grain, very high in starch, so you can actually see it on my fingers as I do this. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually staining my fingers in white. Any kind of short grain, high in starch rice will do the trick. Don't wash the rice, please. We need the starch to make the actual cream, okay? So this is specifically Carnaroli rice. It's a variety of rice which is very, very indicated to make risotto. It's marketed that way in, normally when you go to supermarkets, that's how they market it. And short grain, high in starch. Let's go. Then, for the very end of the recipe, we're gonna need the butter and the Parmigiano Reggiano. I can't pronounce it that way. Parmigiano Reggiano, okay? Okay. These are the two ingredients that we're gonna add at the very end of the recipe. For right now, what we're gonna do is, let me turn on the water and fill the pot with water. Now, what we're gonna do is the following. Okay, this is very, very, very much. I don't need that much. But we're gonna put some water on a pot. I'm gonna turn on the heat under it. Okay, under it, heat on. Warm, very warm, okay? What's that gonna do is, it's gonna give me the water to cook the rice. Now, 99.9% of Italian recipes will call, instead of water, for some broth. You can absolutely do this process without broth. Also because I'm not gonna use all of this water. We're probably gonna waste it. If it was broth, it would have been wasted, okay? So please be reasonable, okay? You don't have to bring this water to a boil. I'm just putting a lid on it so it heats up faster, but you don't need it to boil, okay? The next thing we're gonna do is put the rice directly into the bowl. Oh yeah, fantastic, majestic. Then a pinch of salt, and now just a teaspoon of olive oil. The teaspoon of olive oil, what's gonna do is, it's gonna allow me to toast the rice. Now, we are going to toast the rice for a very specific reason. Now, when you use fat to toast the rice is gonna toast a little bit faster, and it's gonna get coated in oil, basically, which is a very, very good heat conductor. And number two, toasting the rice prevents it from becoming soggy and mushy when you actually complete the cook. So what we're gonna do is, so get out of the way. I got the list of the ingredients here so I don't forget anything, but we're gonna do a thing. We're gonna do a thing with the timer and then another thing with the thing. Okay, we're gonna set the timer on 9 minutes and 30 seconds. 9 minutes and 30 seconds is what we're gonna need. Now, the time is indicative, okay? I use 9 minutes and 30 seconds, and after those minutes, I am going to taste. If I'm not satisfied with the consistency of the rice, I will cook it longer. But this is a reference, okay? I do not like overcooked rice. I like to have a bite, okay? I like to feel the consistency of the grain itself. I don't like to be, you know, a cream. That's not what it's, that's not good, okay? That's not good, okay? That's not good. If you're at a restaurant and they bring you mushy rice, throw it back, okay? This is not the way, okay? So, the water's heating up. What we're gonna do is, this is a very good way to coat the rice evenly. See, this is the symptom of being Italian. You are born, and you are magically able to do this. Look at this. We're gonna actually cook it on this stove or on this one. I don't know. Probably. You know what? I'm gonna do on this stove. Right here, okay? Since this is a smaller stove, I'm gonna use a bigger flame. If I were to be using this one, the flame would be smaller, but you know, use common sense, okay? And now, I am not gonna stop moving the rice, okay? Once you start toasting it, you are toasted, okay? Keep touching it, don't let it stick to the bottom. One wrong move, and it burns, okay? You can leave it without being touched for like 30 seconds, 20 seconds, and it burns, and then it's ruined, and you have to throw it all away, okay? Now, as you can see, this recipe calls for a lot of calories. I know. This is not for your diet, but you can make it macro-friendly, actually, if you wait out everything else. You see, I waited out the butter and, you know, the Parmigiano Reggiano, because these are the most caloric-dense ingredients of this recipe, and also, of course, the rice. This is a recipe for one hungry mean cook, okay? Now, how long are we gonna toast the rice? Well, up until the point that I do this, and I cannot touch it because it's too hot, okay? We're gonna keep going until it does that, specifically. In the meantime, the water is heating up. I don't really need it to be covered, you know, during all this time, and I'm actually gonna lower the flame under it because I don't need it to be boiling, okay? Always keep it on the move. Never and never stop, okay? Majestic, fantastic risotto, 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 risotto. As you toast it, you can smell the stuff coming up, especially the olive oil. But yeah, let's test. I can still hold it with my hand. You can grab one of those wooden spoons and just do this, by the way. This is a professional grade, but you don't need that, okay? This is just fancy, okay? This is me having adult money and doing whatever the fuck I want with it, okay? And this is heating up too much. Now, as you can see, the timer is on 9 minutes and 30 seconds. This is pretty crucial, okay? I don't want to see 40 minutes of cooking time with rice. No, that's pudding. That's pudding. That's rice pudding. That's not risotto, okay? 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Don't you turn off. Don't you turn off on me, okay? 9 minutes and 30 seconds. It's gonna start as soon as I drop some water on it. Bear with me. Okay, oh. Okay. Almost, ow. Shit, almost there, almost there. Actually, quite there. Let me grab, in advance, some ingredients. This is apple cider vinegar. I seem to be using apple cider vinegar for every recipe lately. What do you want from me, okay? This is my life. Okay. We are there. Now, we grab some water, and we do this thing. Oh yeah, baby. Stir, 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 stir. See now? Oh my God. This is what happens when you put water on very hot stuff, okay? It evaporates. Now, as you can see, the water got absorbed real fast. And so we add a little bit more, and we go ahead, and we actually turn on the timer, okay? I forgot, did I forget? No, I didn't, okay? No, I didn't, I did it, you see, you saw. Now we are cooking the rice. Now, as we started doing, we are gonna continue, okay? You're not gonna stop touching the rice, you are gonna keep touching it, and as the water gets absorbed, which is not really getting absorbed, yes, in part, it's getting absorbed, but the other part of the water is getting evaporated and annihilated by the temperature. We are gonna keep stirring, and as the water disappears, let's put it that way, we are gonna add more, okay? So it is time to add more. Oh yeah, a little bit at a time, don't rush it. as always, don't rush it. A little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. You have to be well trained to make risotto because your hand is gonna get tired, okay? Your arm and whatever, you're gonna get tired of doing this motion, okay? You are. This is just the way it is, okay? Now, what's happening is the starch that we did not wash off the rice is gonna create a cream, okay? And we're gonna add that cream at the end of the cooking process with the butter, okay? Keep a look at the timer, see? It has been, what, 2 minutes? Yeah, 2 minutes, 1 minute and 40, whatever. The water is almost gone. And so before it starts basically frying, I add a little bit more water. I said a little bit, that's a little bit too much, but whatever. And we're gonna continue. The starch that is naturally present in the short grain rice is gonna allow us to make a very thick and amazing cream. Now, I'm not gonna add too much salt, at least at the very beginning. Why? Because at the end of the cooking process, I am gonna add some Parmigiano. Parmigiano, it's naturally very, very high in salt. And so by being high in salt, what it's gonna do is it's gonna make the dish saltier, okay? So I'm not gonna add too much salt. I can always add a little bit more at the end, okay? You don't need to be, you don't need to rush it or whatever. Basically, the golden rule of rice is never stop touching it. Kind of like you when you were, an adolescent and you were very hormonal, don't stop touching the rice. You can stop touching yourself, but don't stop touching the rice, okay? Just keep stirring it. And in a circular motion, see, circular motion. Now, I am showing you the basic, ABC recipe, so to speak. You can pretty much make it as you want, okay? You can, the combinations with this are infinite, okay? Let's just focus on the technique right now. You see the water's almost all absorbed, and now we are adding a little more, just a little more, okay? Oh yeah, amazing, fantastic, wonderful. Now, the size of the pots in relation to how much rice you're cooking, it is kind of important. Generally, as a rule of thumb, I do grab a pot that seems to be too big, okay? That's what I do. This is approximately 200 grams or a number of ounces of rice. And so I grabbed this pot. This is 22 centimeters in diameter. No, in diameter. Okay, science. And it seems to be pretty big. Actually, when the rice is raw, it looks too much. I mean, this is too big. What am I gonna do? Instead, when you cook it, it's perfect. So use a pot that seems to be too big for the rice you're cooking, and you're good to go. Yes, the starch is doing its thing. Yeah, amazing. Now, what we're gonna do is add a little bit more water. And actually, since this has to fit my macros as always, and I'm not gonna use a lot of Parmigiano, we're gonna add an extra pinch of salt because Daddy likes it salty. Oh yeah, amazing, fantastic risotto. Okay, what do you even care if I add too much salt? You're not gonna taste it. I'm the only one that's gonna eat it, okay? And that is basically it for the main cook, okay? You just, ow. Okay, I dropped some water with starch in it on my arm and it burns. And as you cook the rice, and you never stop touching it, never stop touching the rice. As you cook the rice, you can see each grain becoming bigger. This is because the rice is absorbing some water and it's becoming thicker, okay? Like me when I eat too much calories. Now, as we reach the final stages of the cooking, you have to watch the timer. Why? Because if I were to add too much water at this time, like 2 minutes off, the water would not absorb in time, and then it would probably overcook the rice, and then it would be not good. So, general rule, add a little bit at a time. And even if you have to add a little bit at a time each minute, and it's tiring, but what's gonna, that's gonna be like 10 minutes of your life for a fantastic risotto, okay? It's very worth it not to ruin it. But yeah, this is really simple. You just have to look at it. You can't go away, okay? This is not a recipe that you can just leave. Like you're making lasagna, you bake it and you leave and okay, we'll see you in 40 minutes. No. Look at it, love it. You have to love it. You have to love risotto, okay? You have to love it. You have to kiss it and you have to never stop touching it, okay? And I know this thing that you never have to stop touching the risotto, okay? I'm actually doing a circular motion, very specific, you know, from the outside to the inside, and then from the inside to the outside, and then you clean the bowl. You have to clean the bowl, okay? So it doesn't stick. Okay, so 30 seconds left, okay? 30 seconds left. Now, you can recognize that the rice is cooking properly because of the bubbling. You see the bubbling? You see the bubbling? The bubbling means that the heat is going through. That probably means that you are cooking it correctly. Okay, 5 seconds, I'm just gonna turn it off. And now what we're gonna do is turn it off as well, and then the water. Now everything is turned off. See the rice? Look at it. This is the perfect thickness and consistency, okay? What we're gonna do is taste it. Salt is right. It's a little bit on the raw side. So what we're gonna do is learn how to use the phone, turn everything back on, and add a little bit more water. We're gonna let it absorb. This is why you taste, okay? You taste so you can see how the rice is cooked, and you can see the salt level. Taste it. In a professional kitchen, you have to taste everything. That's why they are mostly obese, okay? That's what they do. They taste stuff. And we don't rush it, okay? I'm not just gonna put everything in. I'm just gonna turn off the heat now in a minute. Okay, this is absorbed. Turn it off, okay? And I'm gonna taste it again, okay? Just a few grains, okay? It's very small quantity. Okay. No. A little bit more, just a little bit more. The smoke stove is actually playing a role in how the rice is cooking. Interesting. Added a little bit more water, and now we're gonna let it evaporate. See, I'm not even using the timer right now. I'm just adding a little bit more water and waiting for it to absorb. Cleaning the pot, and waiting for the water to absorb. Okay, that's it. Taste it again. Just a few ones. Perfect. Perfect. Now what we're gonna do is, we're gonna, yeah. Fantastic, amazing, oh wonderful. Everything is off. We're gonna go through a process. I have some sips of water. Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna go through a process which in Italian is called mantecation. We're gonna just add the fat. I love when I can use butter. This is a certain amount of quantity. Use how much you want, not too much, not too little. This is approximately a quarter of the quantity of the rice. You see, as the rice is very warm, this is melting right into it. But then we're gonna add some apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is gonna balance out the fats that I'm adding right now. You see all the butter is melted in? Okay, then some garlic cream, just a touch, you see? Mix that in. I'm using garlic cream. I am not really bothering by cooking it because it's already, you know, it went through a process, okay? But if you're using raw garlic, of course, you can't just do this, okay? I'm just doing it because I can. If you wanna know how to make cream of garlic, let me know. And then I'm gonna add the Parmesan, the Parmigiano. Now, bear in mind, Parmigiano and butter have to be cold. They have to be cold, otherwise you will be making a mess, okay? Cold from the fridge, you put them in, and then you go through the mantecation. Now, as you can see, it's a little bit too thick. Now, what I'm gonna do is add just a tiny splash of water, and there we go, we're gonna mix it in. Just a tad more, whatever. This is my risotto. Yes. This is the amazing part of being able to cook. The satisfactory element. Okay. Let's grab this one. This is how you plate risotto, okay? You grab some and you put it at the middle of the plate. Okay, and now you just tap and then you enlarge it. You see? That's how you do it. Now it should be, you know, kind of uniform, but yeah, there we go. Now, I'm gonna garnish it with some basil. Oh no, I don't like it. I don't like the whole, but I want basil on it, come on. I'm gonna ruin it, am I? No, actually, I'm not gonna ruin it. Shut up. Fantastic. And then some pepper. Oh, yes. And look at that. Fantastic, amazing, wonderful risotto. Yeah. And then you grab from the sides. Like, what are we even talking about? Oh. Al dente, very al dente. You have to chew it. You don't have to just swallow it. Perfectly salty, creamy, spicy, with all the spices on top that I put. Oh my God. Give it a try. Make it. Tell me how it goes. Leave a comment. Leave a like. Bye-bye.